guys, it's your boy, Barca Boy 103. Today we're going to be reacting to the Barcelona news over the past few days. We do have a lot of topics to discuss. Firstly, big update on the future of Amadou Onana, where Barcelona's sporting sector do like the player, but Everton price evaluation for him is very high. But of course, the new manager coming in will also have a say, but Barcelona keeping tabs on the Belgian midfielder. Of course, we have some updates around Alphonso Davies as well joining Barcelona, which is going to be unlikely. We have a lot of sale updates as well in regards to Jules Kounde, Sergi Roberto, Marc André Ter Stegen receiving a big offer from Ittihad to join them this summer. That could cause some, controversy there. We do have some big contract renewal updates as well around Frenkie de Jong, which he did have a meeting with the club over renewal, and Araujo as well, who came out in the media saying that he wants to stay at Barcelona. Big updates as well in the future of Lamine Yamal, Cubarsi, Mika, Faye, contract renewal update on Rafa Marquez, injury update on Ferran Torres as well. Home kit for next season, official images have been leaked, and I tell you what, this kit looks absolutely brilliant. And finally, we do have a big update on Barcelona's budget and how so far we're right now on track to reach the 1-1 rule in La Liga this summer. But before we get into it, make sure you guys smash that like button down below. Let's try to get the 200 likes in this video. Be very much appreciated. Also, if you're new, make sure you subscribe down below if you haven't already, and let's get into it. Now, before we get into this video is sponsored by Number One Foot. Number One Foot is one of the best replica football jersey websites on the market right now. They have a variety of different items at absolutely fantastic prices. For me here today, I'm going to show you guys the training kit from this season. This is the warm-up kit that the players use when they go out for training every single day, pre-games as well. You have here the Spotify logo. They have the club badge on it with the diamond as well. And I also have here one of the sweaters they have from last season. This was the Catalonia version. It feels like I bought this from the Nike store directly. The quality is absolutely unreal. The printing is fantastic. And of course, mainly the prices are unbeatable. And if you use the discount code BOY at checkout, you do get an additional 15% off your final order. That is BOY. Use it at checkout. You get 15% off your order, and all orders above $80 as well will guarantee you free shipping. So what are you waiting for? Click the top link in the description down below and get your new football kits today. Let's start off with the transfer news over the past few days. Now, first we're going to be discussing the priority for Barcelona in the summer, which I keep on saying in every single transfer video, but it is the reality, and that is of course the reinforcement of the pivot position. Now, Mateo Merito from Renewal has come out saying the most important issue for Barcelona is the next coach, but the board is already moving to understand the constructional situation of some players who could be of interest in the summer, and Amadou Onana is a highly valued player for the midfield. So Barcelona are kind of, getting some targets, some things they like for the summer in terms of personnel, but of course the new manager is the priority, and the new manager will have the final say on what players come in and out. So the club, which means pretty much like Laporta, Deco, the scouting department, whoever the case may be, they're all fans of Amadou Onana. Now, according to reports, Barcelona want to only spend a maximum of around 40 million euros for Onana, but now with Everton getting their 4 points back from their 10-point deduction, they might stay up, and Everton told Barcelona, if we do stay in the Premier League, we're going to be asking for a minimum of 60 million euros for Onana. I wouldn't even pay 30 for him, so the fact that Everton wants 60, just back out. Why waste your time? If Everton asks for 60, you can literally get Zubimendi, who is the perfect, and I mean perfect, pivot for the exact same price. So Amadou Onana for me is more of, a cherry on top of the cake in the midfield. He's not the cake, he's not the batter, in my opinion. So we'll wait to see how things start out, but it's quite clear that some of the Barcelona board of directors or scouting departments or whoever is behind the sports sector do like Amadou Onana. He could be an option this summer, but of course the final say so will come down to the new manager. Now, a player who Barcelona could sign for the youth setup in the attack for free is Ibrahim Diarra. As we all know, after the Under-17 World Cup, he came to Barcelona in January, had a few trials with Barcelona as part of our agreement with the Senegalese club, if I'm not mistaken. He was training with the Juvenile A side on Barca Athletic over recent weeks, but he now has since returned. According to reports, Ibrahim Diarra has returned to Mali, or is Mali, not Senegal. After completing his trial period he underwent in Barcelona in recent weeks, Diarra left with positive impressions during his various training sessions with Juvenile A and the Barca Athletic side. So again, Barcelona will make the decisions later on. I think they can get him for like a very very cut price, but again, they got that priority with him traveling over, training for a few weeks. Again, he was pictured at the Montjuic watching some of the first team games as well. So wait and see what the club do decide on, but again, based on the clips I've seen him at the World Cup, very talented player. But of course, in training we don't have any video footage whatsoever, and of course that'll come down to the sporting sector and also in the lower ranks as well. In the grassroots, they will make that decision. So wait and see what they do decide on Ibrahim Diarra. But a player who Barcelona will not be signing this upcoming transfer window, or probably in the future either, is Alphonso Davies, as he nears a move to Real Madrid. And following that near move, Fabrizio Romano came out saying that Barcelona have not made any official approach for Alphonso Davies. Again, that meeting that took place in Barcelona last week was just kind of to get an idea what they were asking for and just making a general inquiry. Was nothing really concrete. And it looks like Davies is either going to be going to Real Madrid or staying at Bayern Munich. Let's now discuss the players that have been rumored to leave Barcelona over the past few days. First up is a surprising one in Marc André Ter Stegen, the player that will probably be the first team captain next season. And according to Ben Aid, he came out saying that Marc André Ter Stegen has received a very interesting offer from Saudi Arabia. Now, following his initial report, there were some flying reports coming in from Renewal saying that the Saudi Arabian club which had made the offer to Ter Stegen is Ittihad, which of course is led by Ramón Planes in their sporting sector, who is of course a former sporting director of Barcelona back in the days of you know who must not be named. Now, I'm of course going to speak of this from the Barcelona point of view. I don't know what they're offering Ter Stegen money-wise or sporting-wise in his favor, but for me as a Barcelona fan, we need about 40-50 million euros. Yes, if they made an offer of 50 or 60, would I accept it? Probably, if I'm not going to beat around the bush, but what I need is money for Ter Stegen that's going to cover profit and also cover a replacement. Who the replacement will be, I have no idea. I've seen a lot of people say that they want the the Las Palmas goalkeeper. Can't remember his name off the top of my head. The goalkeeper market is very weak at the moment in terms of what's available and who's available as well. That's why for me, I just prefer to keep Ter Stegen at this point. He's been here for a long time. I'll just ride out with him next few years and then call it a day. There's no really world-class keeper that is available right now that you can get out of. That's just how I see it. I know Ederson's contract is running out with Man City until 2025, but Ederson for me is kind of the same level as Ter Stegen. So, I mean, might as well just keep him than, moving Ter Stegen on, then bringing another one in, and then, chopping and changing when Ter Stegen already knows the culture, style, the language, and everything like that. But we'll wait and see if Ter Stegen is persuaded by this. I don't think he will be. I think Ter Stegen is very much set on the fact that he wants to, either end his career at Barcelona or pretty much enter the final years of his career in Barcelona as well. But he's received the proposal. We'll wait and see how he reacts to it. He might bombshell, ask him to leave Barcelona at the end of the season, maybe with Roberto leaving. Hopefully he might just end up leaving. We'll just get rid of the entire old guard in general. That could be a scenario as well. Maybe Xavi's leaving. It's my best time to dip as well. I don't know. We'll wait and see how things turn out. But Saudi Arabia, more specifically Ittihad, the team of Benzema, of course, have made a big offer to Ter Stegen, and he now has to evaluate it. Let's now discuss some contract renewal updates around the first team at Barcelona. Firstly, on the contract renewal of the first team captain of the club in Sergi Roberto. This is coming in from Mateo Morito from Renewal. He's come out saying that Sergi Roberto has a foot and a half outside of Barcelona. His contract ends in June, and the club does not plan to offer him a renewal, although no one has communicated anything yet to the player or his entourage. Now, we talked about last week how Barcelona might offer Roberto renewal. He's on peanuts. He knows the culture, the style, the play, the city. He's the captain. New manager coming in might want him. But now we're hearing a completely reverse of a situation that Barcelona does not want to keep him, and everything is done now apart from telling him officially that we're not going to offer him a new deal. I think what the club will do is wait for a new manager, appoint the new manager maybe around May, and then see if they want or are keen on keeping Roberto, because they may want him for the same reasons why Xavi wanted Roberto to stay as well, because that factor is important for new managers coming in. I would still put it at a 50-50, even though according to Mateo Morito hit a foot and a half outside of Barcelona. I still think the new manager might consider taking him on. We'll wait and see. Again, he's on peanuts, earns nothing, won't play that much, and again, he will be kind of that culturing bridge between the new manager and of course the first team. He can speak English. Whoever new manager is coming in, let's be honest, probably going to be a German, whether it's Tuchel, Flick, might be De Zerbi. They all speak brilliant English, but their Spanish isn't the greatest, where Roberto can be that kind of intermediate, so to speak. So we'll wait and see. I'm not rushing to conclusions yet. I do think it's time now for Roberto to leave. I would definitely not offer him a renewal no matter what. Even the new manager wants him, I'm like, bro, it's finished. Let's just get this over with. So we'll wait and see how things turn out in that sense. But again, Roberto looks like he's closer to leaving Barcelona than he is staying. The next contract renewal update is on the contract renewal of Frenkie de Jong, and finally, we have our first big advancements in regards to his renewal in terms of any news. It's all just been lingering crap, just randomly out of nowhere, nothing concrete about Barcelona and Frenkie's entourage speaking, but now we finally have it end of February, and we've made it there. Tony Juan Martí is the one who broke the news, saying that Deco and Frenkie de Jong's agent met last week at a restaurant in Barcelona as they felt it was necessary to calm everything down following turbulent week and de Jong's press conference as well. The meeting lasted about an hour and a half and left with positive feelings. From Barcelona's side, they want to convey their confidence in Frenkie. The club wants to count on Frenkie de Jong for many more years, who is very comfortable in Barcelona, which should be a key factor in both parties reaching an agreement. More details on the meeting. Deco and Frenkie de Jong's agent Ali Dursun took the initiative to bring their positions closer. There is a good harmony between them. Deco wanted to make it clear that de Jong is one of Barcelona's references and that you're counting on him for the future, just like Pedri and Araujo. The club considers him a structural figure in the midfield. The agent of de Jong, Ali Dursun, reiterated that de Jong is happy in Barcelona and wants to win all the trophies with Barcelona. De Jong, through his agent, made it known that he is confident that Barcelona will build a competitive and winning project. Barcelona's idea is to gradually outline his contract renewal, but they are not in a hurry and don't expect him to answer before the summer. His contract ends until 2026, and Barcelona know that they have time to resolve his future. Bloody hell, man, we just keep delaying. We just love to do shit last second. I mean, it is absolutely unbelievable. I think de Jong, Araujo, both should be renewing their contracts before December. The fact that the club now going to take their time with Frenkie, what's that going to mean now with Araujo? You still have Pedri, who needs a renewal. Ansu Fati might need one. Fermin Lopez, Inaki Peña. It's just too much to leave so much at the last second. But the most important thing is that, the talks have now finally taken place. Now, Marca have also come out. I think it's Luis Roja from Marca came out saying that the first thing Frenkie de Jong did was divert part of his salary, and Bartomeu asked at that time that is a favor to Barcelona, and it was considered a reduction. His salary was 12 million per year. In one season he charged only 3 million, the next then 8. The 12 million that he postponed, a very important amount he collected in the last 2 seasons that he had in the previous contract. Then Bartomeu renewed his contract for 2 more years, in which his salary rose to 12 to 18. Barcelona wanted to extend Frenkie de Jong's contract for more than 3 years until 2029, and that is why they have made a formal offer, a proposal with no salary increase, since they consider that he's within the market limits of his current salary. Barcelona are clear that if Frenkie de Jong does not renew his contract, the ideal situation would be to sell him before 2026 arrives and that he leaves for free. So there's a bit of an explanation of Frenkie de Jong's salary broken down, and that again became the media outrage that he earns around 40 million euros per season. That's pretty much been confirmed everywhere that he does not earn 40 million net per season, or not net, sorry, gross, so to speak. Look, I think Frenkie de Jong is one of the best midfielders in the world. Like I've told you guys before, I'll tell you it again. He starts in every single team's midfield. Man City, Arsenal, Bayern Munich, Real Madrid as well, Juventus, Tottenham, United. He starts in every single midfield in the world, and this is a player that we cannot afford to lose. Again, I'm on the same page as the club, is that if he does not want to renew his contract, sell him. I fully understand that, but I think a decision has to come before the summer. I would ideally say before June the 30th, because we need to know if we have to sell him or not. We have to know if we have to plan for a new midfield signing as well. We have to put his name out there on the market so we can get some offers for him, things like that. So it's a complicated situation that can turn sour if it's not dealt with in the rightly, timely manner. So wait and see how things turn out. I think it's a very positive news that they at least had a meeting, they at least discussed. There's the harmony between Deco and Ali Dursun, which we thought initially there was no harmony whatsoever. So that's the most important thing, in my opinion, that the club are taking the necessary steps, and that they are definitely heavily in favor of de Jong staying, and de Jong is heavily in favor of staying in Barcelona. So wait and see how things turn out. But again, positive start, and hopefully going into a positive direction in the form of Frenkie de Jong's contract renewal. The next contract renewal update is on the contract renewal of Ronald Araujo. There's no news here, but more so just direct quotes from the player himself about his future. He was speaking to the media, I think this is before the Napoli game, and he said, "The fans should not be afraid of me leaving. I'm very, very happy in Barcelona. I've been here for almost 5 years now, and every time I try to prove it by wearing this shirt." Of course, the player saying this is very, very positive news. Again, I've been on the side that I think Araujo is going to leave, but I hope that he stays. if he wanted to leave and if he had doubts, he wouldn't go in the media saying, "Oh, we'll wait and see. I'm not quite too sure." He is one of the captains of the club. He's been the captain a lot this season on the pitch as well. It'd be a media catastrophe and also a club catastrophe as well if he came out saying anything else other than "I'm happy in Barcelona." Of course, he went on to a length of detail as well, which again is very positive, but I wouldn't say 100% this means Araujo is going to stay. I would definitely now say, based on the current move and motions, that he is more in favor of staying in Barcelona. I was just worried about the Tuchel phone call and, you know, him having doubts about the salary and also the sporting project as well. But Tuchel might be the Barcelona manager come June. He's a top 3, top 4 contender, so you never know whatsoever. Now, I just want to end off this Araujo renewal update on quotes from Deco that he said before the match against Getafe the past weekend. He was asked on the renewal and the intention of keeping both Araujo and Frenkie de Jong, and Deco said nothing will happen. They have contracts and we want to keep them at their best because they are the best in the world. So again, positive news there as well. So hopefully we can get these renewals done ASAP. Again, I'd really like to have both the renewals done by June the 30th, but looks like it's not going to be the case because the club likes to be very, very slow. But again, along with Frenkie de Jong, more positive news on contract renewals and of course the form of Ronald Araujo. Now, a player who Barcelona would be open to sell this summer. If, of course, the right offer arrives, is Jules Kounde, but the player himself has made it clear that he wants to commit to Barcelona long-term. Gabriel Sanz from Deportivo came out saying that as of today, Jules Kounde is not considering leaving Barcelona this summer. Thank God for that. Look, Jules Kounde, for me, is a brilliant defender. I think now he's had a bit of a remontada. He's played well in the past 2 games, Napoli, Getafe, both brilliant performances. I understand this season, since his injury against Granada until probably last week, he's been shy. I'll hold that, but Kounde for me is a unique defender. He's brilliant on the ball, brilliant in the air, on the ground, could play at a very high level at both right back and center back. And remember, when he was playing at center back, from the beginning of the season, from like August until October, he was the best center back in the world, for crying out loud. I cannot wait for, you know, Julian Araujo and Joao Cancelo to really cement that right back position next season, for Jules Kounde to compete at center back and be that long-term partnership that we planned with Xavi, with Araujo and Kounde. Remember when we signed Kounde in the documentary, Xavi's like, "Oh, Araujo, Kounde together, that's elite. They'll be the Barcelona partnership for the next 10 plus years." I'm still honed in on that. I think Kounde is a brilliant defender. I've never been excited for a signing like his since what? Probably since Coutinho, if I'm being honest, but Coutinho was just a lot of hype at the time and all that stuff. But anyways, I think we should be keeping him unless a crazy offer comes in, and hopefully the player is on the same wavelength as well. We'll wait and see how things turn out, but for now, the player is adamant that he wants to continue his career at Barcelona for now. Let's now discuss some of the news surrounding Barcelona over the past few days. Now, first, I want to discuss some of the news in regards to some of the La Masia players in and around the first team, one of them being Lamine Yamal. Firstly, Gabriel Sanz from Deportivo came out saying that the Barcelona dressing room appreciates Lamine Yamal a lot, especially the heavyweight. For Xavi, Lamine Yamal is a crazy talent. The coach appreciates that he works for the team, and despite his age of 16, he never gives up. Players like Ter Stegen, Gundogan, and Lewandowski admit that Lamine Yamal's contributions are getting to the team out of many difficult situations. He's a leader, they admit it, and they add that he is a humble leader. Again, this hype around Lamine Yamal is brilliant, and it's even getting more hype because he is now officially signed with Adidas. I believe he's left Nike, signed with Adidas, and during his signing, his first quote as an Adidas athlete was, "I am proud to join Adidas. They've always been the brand of the best. Growing up, I idolized Leo Messi, and he's with Adidas since the start of watching football. I look forward for many years with this company together." So he's now signed with Adidas. He's now going to be one of the faces of Adidas as well, both short term and even in the long term as well. And also on the pitch, he is growing, and I do mean literally. Fernando Polo from Deportivo came out saying that Lamine Yamal has gained 7 kilograms of muscle mass this season. Since the beginning of the season, he has followed a specific physical plan designed by the club that has yielded spectacular results for muscle level and reduced his body fat to the maximum. He's also 2.5 centimeters taller than he was at the beginning of the season. So this man is still growing. Of course, he's 16. He's still literally going through puberty. I think he's at a point now where he's the same height, or if not taller, than Rafinha. I mean, bloody hell, this kid is just on nothing but a rise. But again, we have to be very, very careful with him. We can't let it get too much to his head, and also to our heads as Barcelona fans as well. But he's not the only big talent that's coming through. Of course, another big one on the opposite side of the pitch in the defense is Pau Cubarsi. Now, Gabriel Sanz from Deportivo came out saying that Rafinha was upset after he missed the 2 clear chances at the end of the game against Getafe in that first half. When the player were heading towards the dressing room, it was actually Cubarsi who consoled him. He was a great gesture of encouragement by the 17-year-old for someone who is 9 years older than him. So, he's already showing that leadership at the age of 17, consoling a big veteran, saying, you know what, it's okay, you missed a few chances, they'll come again. Having that already at 17 is wild. Of course, we've been talking about on the channel over the past few weeks how he has a release clause in his contract of 10 million euros. Very, very, very cheap, especially in this current market. But Barcelona are not worried. Raccoon came out saying that despite having offers and very low release clause, Cubarsi is not considering listening to any offers or leaving Barcelona, as he only wants to succeed at Barcelona. The club has not started renewal talks to improve his contract quite yet, as they're not quite sure what FFP margins they will have in the summer. The fact that we're going to struggle with Cubarsi new contract because of FFP just shows how much we are in the mud. But look, he's a brilliant player, brilliant talent as well. Like Xavi said after the game against Getafe, he's probably the best ball playing center back at the club, and I have not seen a center back with his ball playing IQ and ability since PK back in the day. Like, it is unbelievable what this man sees with his eyes. It's ridiculous. And again, he can only grow from this point. Again, like Lamine Yamal, we do have to be very, very cautious with him. But we do have another big center back coming through as well. It's not only Cubarsi, there is another one, and that is Mika, Faye, who of course we signed last summer. I don't think he's made a first team appearance with Barcelona, but again, a decision on his future will have to be made. Roger Toledo from Deportivo came out saying that Mika Faye's great performances for Barca Athletic are attracting more interest from abroad, as they already rejected, of course, a 9 million euro offer from Lens in January. Clubs like Arsenal, Dortmund, Nice, and Lille are among those interested in the player. Of course, this summer, the club will have to make a decision. Either keep Mika Faye in the first team, I doubt they'll accept a loan move, or sell him on completely for some profit. I think we bought him in total for like 3 million in the summer, so you could already make, quadruple your money at this point, or maybe it was 5 million, somewhere like that. I think it was 5 million in total with variables and everything like that. So you can easily sell him on now for 15 and no problem whatsoever. So again, the decision will have to be made in the summer, so I'll wait and see on that. I think in my current standpoint is I really want to see him in preseason first, and also want to see if we get any offers for other center backs as well, like maybe a Christensen or a Kounde, or maybe Araujo decides to leave. Well, we'll have to wait and see with that. But we do also have some news on the player that's coaching Mika Faye, and that is of course Rafa Marquez, with the club wanting to renew his contract. Gabriel Sanz from Deportivo came out saying that Barcelona are clear they want Rafa Marquez, whose contract ends in June this year, to continue as a coach for Barca Athletic for at least another season. The club is very happy with his work, and he also has a full support of the board. However, he's not part of the list of coaches who could take over the first team next season, although he can be intermediate coaches if urgently needed. So even next season, if we maybe sack the new coaches coming in mid-season, Rafa Marquez would come in as the interim. Whether or not he wants to stay at Barcelona for another year remains to be seen. He's already confirmed a lot in the media that look, he doesn't want to stay at Barca Athletic long term. He wants to, of course, develop his career as a coach, which is again totally understandable. But the club do want to keep him for that one more season for the 24-25 year for next season. So we'll wait and see if Rafa Marquez does agree with that. But overall, La Masia could not be more on the rise, along with the juvenile A sides, juvenile teams, even Barca Athletic as well. Everyone's doing well, and hopefully it just goes up from this moment. Now, as we're currently into a very positive period for Barcelona for the first time in quite some time this season, probably since September, there is a lot of confidence and morale currently within the first team. According to Roger Toledo from Deportivo, the Barcelona dressing room is convinced that they'll be able to proceed to the next round of the Champions League with the support of the fans at the Montjuic. Again, quarterfinals minimum is what we're expecting in the Champions League. That's what we would have taken, of course, at the beginning of the season as well. I think it can be possible, especially with us having that home advantage, although our Montjuic form has been nothing short of shite this season, especially in those bigger games. It has to be done. I know for a fact the fans will turn up. It's just now down to the players turning up, in my opinion, onto the pitch. But of course, there will be a lot of physical demands on that game, and Barcelona want to improve a lot on that physical aspect of the team. According to Tony Klein Martin from Sport, Barcelona are already working to improve some aspects for next season. Among those other things, the club wants to give specific emphasis to the physical preparation and also the optimal recovery from injury. The new coaching staff and his staff will also mark their way in that regard. So Barcelona as a club really want to improve the physical preparation for games and also the optimal recovery times, and of course the new coach coming in will have his input and opinion on that. So hopefully next season will be at a much better level physically, playing more games week in week out, more players can get more minutes, and when we do get injuries, hopefully if there's usually takes maybe a month, they can recover in 3 weeks. Maybe if the injury usually takes 2 months, they can recover in a month, like we see other teams do across Europe as well. Having that optimal recovery time is very, very important to get your players back as soon as effective as possible. Now, speaking of injuries, very, very quickly, we do have an injury update on Ferran Torres, who apparently will be ready for the second leg against Napoli. Ben Aid came out saying the plan for Ferran Torres is to be ready in time for the second leg against Napoli. Again, if he's even ready for that game, he will not play that game. I think we do play that end of March, if I'm not mistaken. So once that game comes around, you're probably a week or two away from the international break. So I don't think we'll see Ferran Torres much until then. We might make a cameo, some appearance in a game, maybe start one game. That's at most. I think mostly we'll see Ferran Torres after the international break, but the earlier he comes back, the better, of course. Let's now discuss some of the leaks coming out about Barcelona's kits and merchandise for next season. Now, on the screen right now, you can see the training shirt for Barcelona in the UEFA Champions League next season will be that kind of dark blue color. On the right hand side, that teal will be the third kit for next season as well. That's going to be the color scheme. It's not, of course, an official photo, but the color scheme is what you want to take for the consideration in that regard. And of course, the kit there in the middle is going to be the training kit for next season. Now, apart from that, we have now official photos of the home kit for next season that you can see on the screen right now. Again, it looks absolutely brilliant, and I cannot wait to get my hands on this kit. This has been one of the best home kits I've seen since the 2020-2021 season, the first season under Koeman. It's been one of the best home kits we produced in a very long time. Of course, pre-winning everything, of course, we love the 2010-11 kit because we won the Champions League in it. Of course, the 2014-15 one because we won the treble in it. It gives it that extra, pizzazz, so to speak. But this kit is unbelievable. Now, as you can see on that top left photo, you have the Barcelona badge in the middle, Spotify logo underneath it, Nike logo on one side, but on the other side kind of looks a bit empty. Now, when I saw that initially, I'm thinking, oh, imagine they had the Barcelona logo there, Spotify logo, bring that up a bit. You're looking at a 10 out of 10 kit, but there's a reason why that space is vacant, because Barcelona will be putting the anniversary of the 125th anniversary of the club emblem in that position. As you can see there on the left hand side, sorry, should I say, of your screen. Those are you can see the 4 squares there. Those are the 4 possible options the club will use as that emblem to represent the 125th anniversary of the club. The bottom left one, the top right one, don't like whatsoever, because that's just pretty much another badge beside the badge, which just looks really weird. I like the top left one and the bottom right one of those two to make it look different. I think the best one here is the top left one. Nice and simple, also fills that void in that corner as well. The other ones kind of make it look like you have 2 badges. It's a bit weird in my opinion, but let me know what your thoughts on that. But I do like the idea, of course. I think this is, if with that idea being said, the badge in the middle does make sense. But overall, this kit looks absolutely banging, and all that's left is to officially see it, get your hands on it, and of course, more importantly, for the team to go out there and win some trophies with it. Now, of course, this wouldn't be a transfer video without an update on the new manager for Barcelona, and again, right now, all signs are pointing into the direction of Hansi Flick, with Fernando Polo and Fred Martinez from Mundo Deportivo saying the agent Fee Zahavi was in Barcelona last week for several days, and he also met with Joan Laporta. The meeting did not take place in restaurants to avoid the press and maintain total discretion. Zahavi is working to try and bring the position closer so that Hansi Flick can fulfill what he dreams. The German coach sees himself in very good eyes to take over Barcelona next season. Thomas Tuchel is also represented by Fee Zahavi, but his priority is Flick. At the moment, Barcelona are in no hurry to finalize the next coach. Laporta likes Flick, but they know that this is an important decision for the future and want to be patient. Again, I'll tell you right now, I'm pretty much guaranteed at this point is either going to be Flick or Tuchel. I don't think De Zerbi has the experience. Also, that release clause is going to be a bit hindering on his, momentum. Flick is free and Tuchel will be free. I think it will definitely be one of them. The question now is who you're going to pick. They're both agents of Fee Zahavi as well, which just makes the operation 20 times easier. I mean, it's just now about picking your battles. Again, for me, I have a bit of doubts about Hansi Flick and also Tuchel. To be fair, I don't think there's really a perfect manager out there, so to speak. I think every manager, that whoever comes in, will have their pros and their cons, just now coming in and backing them to the fullest extent. Now, quickly an update on Fee Zahavi as well. Not only has he recently signed with Hansi Flick, but he's also acquired Dani Rodriguez, one of the up-and-coming midfielders in La Masia, more specifically, of course, Barca Athletic. Fernando Polo and Fred Martinez from Deportivo came out saying that Fee Zahavi is also the agent of Dani Rodriguez. He's one of the pearls of La Masia, but his future at Barcelona is up in the air. His contract ends in June this year, but Barcelona have the option of extending it for 2 more years. Barcelona count on him, but the player and his entourage have doubts due to many players already being in his position, which, to be honest, makes sense. But again, you have Jorge Mendes swooping up Barcelona talents, and you also have Fee Zahavi doing the same as well. So that's the update on Dani Rodriguez. I'll wait and see what happens with the new manager. Again, the club want to be patient. I think we'll get more so concrete news about it during that international break coming up around March and April. Then of course May, we'll pretty much have an idea of who will be the coach, and of course they'll be official in June once the season ends for Barcelona. So we'll wait and see how things turn out, but right now I would definitely say Hansi Flick is the leading candidate to take over Barcelona as a new manager come the summer. Now, the final topic that I want to discuss before I end off this video is give you guys an update on the budget for Barcelona and whether or not those goals will be met by the end of the season to of course help with financial fair play in the summer. Now, this report is coming in from Frenkie from Sport, and he's come out saying that the Barcelona board is optimistic about complying with the budget for the season, which is very important, of course, to return to the 1-1 rule in La Liga. Their forecasted expenditure was around 832 million euros, and there is currently a small deviation of 12 million euros due to the early arrival of Victor Roque and the renewal of Xavi and his staff back, I believe, what was it, September, October. Their forecasted revenue was 859 million euros, and currently there is a deviation of around 15 million euros. This is mostly due to the ticket sales at the Montjuic not being as expected, although the sales of the club stores have been higher than expected, so that kind of, balances it out a little bit. For overcoming their small deviations, eliminating the Champions League from Napoli and going deep in the Champions League is also very important, such as home matches would also be attracting more fans in the stadium. In the last months of the season, more tourists are expected to be around the first team matches around Barcelona and also maybe hopefully in the museums. It is not ruled out that Barcelona will play another friendly before the end of the season to earn another 3 to 4 million euros as well. It is also expected that the club will sign more commercial contracts to increase the income. And finally, the 40 million euros owed by Barca division by Liverpool Finance must arrive as well. Here, everything is more complicated, although the club continues to work on it. It is necessary to needed to comply with La Liga's financial fair play rules. So based on this, you could say arguably catastrophe of a season that we are having, financially, we're still in there. The goals are being reached. Again, the deviation is only around 15 million euros, so only 15 million euros off of what we expected. But again, get some commercial deals coming in. We passed the Napoli, get into the quarterfinals of the Champions League. That would be huge as well. And of course, make some other moves elsewhere as well. There's many operations. There is even talks of Barcelona starting up their own Netflix website, with Candace reporting that Barcelona is working to promote the club's own OTT platform like Netflix, Barca One. The idea is to be free for members and without advertisement. This is basically going to replace Barca TV, a kind of Barcelona channel for anyone to sign up for a subscription and you get free get Barcelona content. If they can chuck in watching Barcelona games, I'll be all in for it, but of course that's difficult since La Liga own the rights for displaying Barcelona games in La Liga. You have the Champions League owning the rights to display Barcelona's games in the Champions League as well, so that's a bit complicated. Maybe friendly games definitely will be on there, but we'll wait and see how they progress in that regards. But again, for the budget, we're on the right track. Deviations here and there, but to be honest, I thought it would be much worse, and I think again the club should be able to be getting into the 1-1 rule come the summer transfer window. If we're not in the 1-1 rule, especially by the beginning of the transfer window, we're going to have such a delayed window, and yet again falling in line with doing everything last second. So wait and see how things turn out, but right now so far so good. Few hiccups here and there, but nothing Laporta cannot resolve, especially before the summer. So that was my reaction to the Barcelona news over the past few days. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to leave a like, and of course leave me your thoughts down below in the comments on everything we discussed. The main thing I want to see, of course, is your thoughts on Amadou Onana. Would you sign him this summer or not, and for what price? Second, your thoughts on the renewal of Jong and Araujo. Do you think they'll both put pen and paper on a brand new deal at Barcelona, hopefully before, maybe just after the summer transfer window? Third, your thoughts on Ter Stegen. How much would you accept to sell him this summer? What are your thoughts on him having that big offer from Saudi Arabia? Think he'll accept it or not? And finally, your thoughts on the new manager. What are your thoughts on Hansi Flick being in pole position? And is there any other manager that you would consider for the Barcelona job? And of course, make sure you subscribe down below if you haven't already. And I will see you guys next time on the channel. Take care and Forza Barca.
Yeah.